in Spinagle, here today at Slanesville Elementary. Join me today as we learn about some of the teachers here at the home of the Mustangs on this edition of Be the Difference, West Virginia. We're here with Beth Eckerson. She is the Universal Pre-K teacher here at Slanesville Elementary. Hey Beth, how are you?
Hi, good. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been teaching about 20 years. I've been at Slanesville about 7 years, and I do have a degree, a master's in special ed. I've been teaching at Slanesville about 7 years, and I love preschool.
So what made you decide to become a preschool teacher?
In high school, I started working with Special Olympics, and I really, really liked it. So I decided I might want to work with kids with disabilities. So I just started taking some courses, and it just kind of led me into this field.
What do you enjoy most about working with students at this age level, the pre-K level, right before they really get into a formal school setting?
I think that one thing, they're like sponges. They just love, they want to try everything. They love everything you're doing. So that's really fun. You see lots of progress. We're kind of the first thing they come to, the first school experience. So we get to be with the families, we get to see the whole family, learn about them, and just kind of grow with them along the way. And we do stay in touch with the kids throughout their experience in elementary school, and I just really like that aspect.
What are some of the things that they do in pre-K to get them prepared for the next step for kindergarten?
Well, our philosophy is pretty much learn through play. So we set up our environment so they can explore. And for example, if they're in the block area and they're stacking and playing, we go into their area and we might count blocks with them, do numbers, do different kinds of helping them make ramps so they can do motion. We do science. So we just kind of, whatever they're already playing with, then we do lots of different academic things within their environment. It's a lot of fun.
Is there anything particular that they really enjoy doing or something they look forward to during the day?
They really like art because they love the mess. You know, we play a lot with painting. We have sand, we have water. We do lots of experiments, just real simple things. But they really, really like that. Anything hands-on.
And for pre-K, that play is often a lot of times they're learning something, they're developing skills.
Absolutely.
During that time.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit. There hasn't always been a pre-K program in our public schools. So how does having that pre-K step get our students prepared for what they're going to experience when they are in kindergarten and beyond?
It's interesting because we've talked to a lot of kindergarten teachers since the program's come about, and they can see a big difference. And some of our students choose not to come. It's optional whether they come to the program or not, but they can see a difference in our kids. And there's a lot of misconceptions about preschool, like they don't have to know their numbers and shapes and counting and all those things, but what they need to learn how to do is just be with and live in a group setting. Learn how to get along with one another, learn how to stay in a group, learn how to socialize, share, and take turns, just those simple things to help them to get into the next group. And then that's when they get more into the cognitive things. Now they definitely pick that up, but just learning to adapt and be with a group of kids is really, really important.
So you mentioned the families and how you get to know them as well through this, having them in preschool. So what are some of the things that you do to get families involved in their students learning?
We and definitely they can come in anytime to observe and things. We try to get them in. We have show and tell, so if they have any pets or anything, we get them in on that. Sometimes we have career days, so if we can get a mom or dad to come in and tell us what they do, bring what they wear. You know, if a dad has a certain occupation or a mom, they can wear something. We also do a home visit, so we get to meet them, see the kids' room, what pet they have. We get a lot closer relationship with those families, I feel. We have conferences so the kids, parents can come in and see what the kids have done. And then we have a couple parties during the year, Christmas and Valentine's Day, so we do those things. We send home newsletters, and we also have daily communication because occasionally our kids are nonverbal, so that way we can tell the parents what's going on during the day.
So what is one thing that you wish the public understood about pre-K education in your classroom or throughout West Virginia?
I think it's that a lot of times we hear that these kids are so very young, and they are young, and it's hard, the separation between parent and child and everything, but it is really, really crucial, and I've just seen so much progress with kids when they are in the preschool program, as far as language, socialization skills, self-help skills, that they just do so much better in kindergarten. I just think it's really, really appropriate and a good program.
We're here with Teresa Thorne. She teaches first grade here at Slanesville Elementary. Hi, Teresa. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well. So
Good.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have always taught at Slanesville. I started teaching in 1993, so this is my 20th year as a teacher, but during that time I took 7 years off to just be a mom, which was the best thing that I could have ever done for my kids. See, I'm married, I have 2 kids, live on a farm. So, my grandmother inspired me to teach, so that's where we go from there. So I love what I do. I love to have fun.
Did you go
Yeah.
to school in West Virginia?
Yes, I did. I'm a graduate of Shepherd.
Okay. Me too.
Yes. Yeah, graduated spring of '93, went to work here at Slanesville in December of '93.
So did your
No.
kids go through Hampshire County schools too?
Yes, Slanesville.
They went through Slanesville?
Yes, they went through Slanesville. And actually, my husband went to elementary school here.
Oh.
Yes, so it's kind of a family
So you
thing.
mentioned your grandmother inspired you to be a teacher?
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Grandma was the type of person who education was important, but making kids feel responsible for themselves and to love themselves and to let that love carry over in their education. And that's just, I remember a time when my first grade teacher told my mom that I couldn't read. And Grandma said, that child can read. It was just the confidence thing. And just after that, but I knew from the get-go I wanted to be a teacher.
So you've carried that, probably that same attitude that yes,
I
can
try, and I
achieve.
say if I could be half the teacher that my grandmother was, then I've got it down pat.
So tell me a little bit about your classroom. How do you get your students excited about learning?
I think it just reflects from me. I'm always smiling. I jump around. We dance a lot. You know, just that type of thing. And I want the kids to be here. I figure if they're here, then something's going to click in their heads. So we cook, we dance, we sing, we read. There's a lot of action that goes on in my room. So, in a very structured way.
Something you've done with your students lately, or just sometime this year that they've really enjoyed, or something that, like a lesson or unit that they were just really into.
Back in the fall, we were doing the whole apple thing, talking about, especially Golden Delicious and West Virginia history, and we actually made these little things called apple cakes, and it was a little cooking project, but it was just one of those things that clicked. We did math with it, we read the directions, so just all of that.
Your students really need to know when they're in first grade to be successful when they move on to second.
How to be a problem solver. That's just how to, not only with, whether it be a math problem, or looking at a question from the reading story and trying to figure out that answer. It's just in life, how to solve problems. If I break my pencil, what do I do about it? Those little simple things.
So as teachers, often we have responsibilities that go beyond what we do just in the classroom. How does your school day continue on long after the students leave your room?
Your basic, your lesson plans, the grading papers. I do a lot of try to reflect. I'll go home and maybe something happened, or even maybe something happened with my kids' teacher, but then I look back, it's like, oh, do I find myself doing that?
What is one misconception that the public sometimes has about teachers or education that you wish you could clear up?
Don't think the public realizes the baggage that some of our kids bring with them. I think they think we just stand in here and we just get up and we say 2 + 2 is 4, and they don't realize that yes, 2 + 2 is 4, but Johnny's not thinking that because maybe Johnny didn't get to eat last night, and I don't think that our public realizes that about our kids. No.
That's all for this edition of Be the Difference West Virginia. Join me next time as we learn more about the teachers here in beautiful Hampshire County. Until then, I'm Erin Spinagle reminding you to be different, but more importantly, be the difference. I'll see you soon.